What's up, Sky Squad? We are in the building. We are in the mother freaking building. If you guys can hear and see me clearly, let me know in the chatterization. Let me know in that good chatterization if you guys can see and hear me clearly. Because we about to go in on a couple of topics dealing with Real Housewives of Potomac. You know, there was a part of me that was hoping, that I would be able to leave Potomac in the past after that reunion. Okay, I was hoping I could be able to leave because it's exhausting. Y'all know what I'm saying? It's really, really exhausting. But I felt in my spirit like we wasn't really done with Potomac. Y'all know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and hit this good this text message community right here real quick. Send them this good linkerization. Give me 1 second, y'all, so I can send out the link to the texting community. All right, we got some things to cover. We got some things to talk about. Monique Samuels did reveal a couple of little behind the scenes type things on All About the Tea on Monday. I don't know if you guys happened to capture that. Okay, did you guys catch that? Okay, we're going to dive into that. First, we got a little bit of Wendy Osefo tea to discuss as well. And then we're going to talk about season 6 and my ideas for how to fix Potomac. Okay. And then I want to know what you guys think down in the chatterization down below. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Y'all know I like to be nosy and see where my people at, okay? First things first, your girl Wendy Osefo, she did an interview with that good David Yontef from Behind the Velvet Rope, who gets all the good interviews, okay? Shout out to David Yontef at Behind the Velvet Rope. Okay, this is what Wendy had to say about Miss Karen Huger. She says, I think that Karen doesn't understand a woman of my pedigree. She comes from a time and place where women were defined by their husbands like she is. Okay, I'm like, girl, was she born in the 1800s? Was she on Bridgerton? Okay, anyway, she says she's on the show because of her husband, not because of anything else. Okay. She says, I'm on the show because of my background and what I bring as an individual. Yes, my husband is an attorney, but I stand on my own outside of my husband. I don't need him, nor do I need his money. Karen doesn't understand that. She doesn't know what it means to have a status without a husband. And I think that's what the issue is. Okay. She's used to younger women coming in and wanting to show deference to her, like, oh, the grand person. I bow down to you, and it's no disrespect. I respect all of the women equally. I don't need to bow down to you. We're women. We should be able to see each other eye to eye, toe to toe. And I don't think that she liked that about me. She didn't like the fact that I was okay standing on my own, and I didn't need her to take me under her wing. Okay. Woo! Listen. Comment in the chat if you agree or you disagree. I would have to say that I disagree with that. I don't necessarily know what the real issue was, or if Karen really had that much of an issue with her in the beginning. Anyway, I think she just felt like she didn't know her as well as maybe Wendy felt like she knew her. Simple. That's really what I think it was. But I could be wrong. Not always being around and possibly hearing, I guess, maybe what Gizelle was whispering in her ear. She may have formed an opinion about, Karen Huger based on a lot of that as well. So we don't know. Okay. So she went on to talk about how the altercation really affected everybody. But she also says, we didn't sign up for a physical altercation. But I have to come into this knowing season 6, guess what? It could be all guns blazing against you. And you have to be okay with that because this is what we signed up for. So it sounds like she is well aware that the target could be on her back for season 6. Okay. Now, she would probably do well to remember that when it comes down time to start filming, which the people say is going to be starting in January, but I don't know because I haven't gotten any official word as of yet. Okay. What do you guys think of Dr. Wendy Osefo and what she had to say? And how do you feel about her coming back to season 6? I'm going to tell you guys my opinion about her coming back for season 6 in just 1 second. We want to talk about this Monique Samuels news. She did reveal just a couple of interesting little tidbits about how she was sent to the wrong hotel or to a different hotel from the rest of the cast before filming the Real Housewives of Potomac season 5 reunion without a notice that she was being sent to a different hotel from the rest of the ladies, leading her to feel isolated and iced out. Now, I did speak to someone yesterday. I did a podcast interview that'll be coming out probably on Friday or Saturday for Andy's Girls with Sarah Galley. I don't know if you guys follow her. She's Dame Galley on Instagram. And she had a guest on there by the name of Damien. Now, Damien used to work in, I don't know if he used to work in television production or he may still work in production. But one of the things he pointed out was that what may have happened was that they didn't want the first time Monique ran into Candiace to be in the hotel lobby and them not be able to capture that altercation on camera. Okay. So I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. But what would have made more sense would have been had they told Monique in the beginning that we're putting you in a different hotel and these are the reasons why. And it would have probably shown a better show of good faith had they placed Karen and Ashley maybe in that same hotel so that it wasn't a situation where she felt isolated. It's just about being transparent at this point because she felt like, based on that interview that we did with her for All About the Tea, which I will place in the description of this video below, that if that had been handled correctly, she would not have felt a certain type of way about it. But being told later on that it was because of the bird and it was this, that, and the third, it didn't really make any sense. So she kind of pulled the wool back on some things that were going on behind the scenes that were sort of, it almost seems meant to sort of chip away at her, leading her to feel like, especially after the reunion, I'm sure that not only did the women seemingly dislike her, but it also feels or seems like production may have had it, I don't know, maybe they didn't like her as well either. So you know what I'm saying? And if you guys watch Funky Dineva's video, he reviewed her quitting the Real Housewives of Potomac, and he did a great sort of analysis of her juxtaposed with the Nene situation, juxtaposed with the way that a lot of people feel that Andy came into the reunion with certain biases. It was, I sat back and I thought about it today, and I was like, I got to sit down and talk with you guys about this. You know, and the reality of it is, Monique has left the show at this point. She has done what is best for her, her family, and she's moving on. But for those of us who may be interested in watching season 6, what do we do? What should we expect? And one of the great questions that Q asked in his video, please watch that video. I will put it in the description below if you haven't. But one of the things, and we're gonna talk a little bit about this, Dana. I don't honestly know quite yet. I've heard the same thing as well. I've heard that it's up in the air. I'm not necessarily sure. But what I will tell you guys is this. And first thing first, I want to know, will you guys be watching season 6 or not? Go ahead and let me know if you guys are going to be watching or not. And also, too, in Q's video, he asked a very poignant question. He asked, really, because the same format has been done over and over and over, what can we do for some of these shows to make them different from what we've seen time and time again? Because, and a lot of people get it twisted. when I played that video of Candiace speaking about the plot, that's not a knock against Candiace. That is to display that there actually was a situation where there were women sitting around trying to plot on a child. That is what that is meant to display. Okay. Now, knowing that, and then knowing and listening to what Q said about the character type of the Kenya Moore and the Giselle Bryant, kind of stirring up the juice, you know what I'm saying? Kind of spreading the rumors or whatever they may be. We've seen that before. So, and we're smarter than what I think that the producers and the teams who are creating these shows are giving us credit for. We see through what is happening. Okay. So we're going to need something else for season 6 in order for the show to really take off the way that it possibly can. Okay. Now, here is what I'm going to tell you guys is my suggestion. And if you have suggestions for what you want to see, chime in the chatterization down below. Okay. I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. And some of you guys may agree or you may not agree. Ooh, now that would be interesting. Wasn't Jamal Bryant on a reality show at one point in time about the preachers? Am I correct? So I'm going to tell you, Nancy, let me say this before I dive too deep into it. Now, there's different types and styles of reality television shows. There are some that are actually heavily scripted. Yes, you are correct in that. And then there are some where there's a balance. And I believe Buffy Purcell said this in her video. She said that she was given some great advice. If you get production notes before the scene, then the scene is not about you. If you did not get any notes before the scene will likely be about you. Okay. So in that part, there is sort of the scripted version. And then for those people who are walking into the scene completely unaware of what's about to happen, for them, it is reality TV, right? They're being thrust into a situation where they don't know what's about to happen, but something is going to happen because someone has received notes on what is to happen. Does that make sense? So for instance, what I would say is a lot of times what we see, I believe, is we'll see Giselle come into a scene, probably already given notes on what's about to happen or what to say. Okay. Then there could be Candiace walking into a scene, or there could be Karen walking into a scene, and they've not been given any notes about what is to happen. And then they are going to have to react to what is happening. That reaction is real. Okay. Typically. Okay. Now it may be overdone for dramatic effect, usually by the person, but it usually is somewhat real. Okay. And I'm just telling you this as someone who also has done reality television himself. Now, for me, in my situation, I knew where I was going to go, but whatever happened once I got there, I did not know. Okay. So things that people said in the scene, I didn't know what was going to happen. I just had to live through it. Right. So I could tell you what I know, and I could tell you what I see. And I can also tell you what the experience is from knowing producers behind the scenes. Right. Okay. So let's take it back. Next thing I want to say, you said not watching season 6. Okay. So here are some ideas that I have for season 6. Okay. All right. Moving right on along. Okay. Ending season 5, we pick back up. What do we see? Now, I know that some of you guys may not agree with this, but it is something that I feel like makes for great story. Okay. And it is this right here. Agree or disagree, Candiace and Mama Dorothy made for great television. Mama Dorothy is the vehicle by which we understand better about who Candiace is and how she reacts to things. Also, what I would do is make Dorothy a full-time cast member on this show. Okay? Now, I know some of you guys may not agree with this, but I'm going to tell you personally, from a reality television perspective, Mama Dorothy is entertaining. Also, we have never on a US-based franchise of Housewives had a mother-daughter duo on the show. That's what I'm going to say. We've never seen it before. We have never seen that dynamic happen on a Housewives TV show before. And it takes us back to the basis of why New Jersey worked so well in the earlier seasons, was because New Jersey was rooted heavily in family dynamics. And I personally feel like whether you like Candiace or not, Mama Dorothy and Candiace going to therapy, working through those issues as Candiace works to begin her journey into motherhood. To me, if you're gonna keep this cast, this is what I would do. It would also be interesting to see Mama Dorothy's interactions with the rest of the cast members as well. That's just my thought. Okay? Feel free to agree or disagree. Now, the next person I want to talk about is Robyn. I'm going to go ahead and say this, and it's not that I want anyone to lose out on some coins or their job, so please don't take it this way. But I would test Robyn, and here's how I would test her. If she and Juan are really truthful about getting married, I would demote her to a friend to see if they really do get married. Otherwise, I would drop Robyn. But again, because I don't want anyone to lose any coins, let's keep on as a friend, because ultimately she's not bringing what we really want and need in a housewife on this franchise. So if you want to just give Gizelle a partner in crime, okay, but she just going to be a friend, because ultimately we ain't getting lifestyles of the rich and famous from Robyn, nor are we getting meaty story from Robyn on the show. I think Robyn is beautiful. I think that she probably is a nice lady, but I ain't really getting housewife, that we are looking for. Because the premise was, as I remember Nene stated initially, a look behind the gates. I wants to see behind the gates, not next door. Okay? Now, I know that they're not going to get rid of Gizelle, because obviously we can all see with our own two eyes that for whatever reason, Gizelle is favored by the network, okay? As evidenced by her continuously getting other shows, being able to speak out about every situation on Bravo chat room, you know what I'm saying? And the obvious thing here is this crazy, seemingly fake relationship with Jamal. Season 6. Production, let's go ahead and call the spade a spade. Okay, this man done said he not coming back to film on this show. The jig is up. And I'm going to need for her to just come out and say, I felt the pressure to keep up with the rest of these ladies who are all married, because my time as a first lady, I'm still living back in those sorority days in my first lady days, and I want to still have that lifestyle. But that's not where I am. Because for real, we know very little about who Gizelle actually is on the inside, aside from her stirring up drama with other people. And I'm going to need for Karen to keep her foot on Gizelle's neck and hold her to the fire next season. Okay? Wendy Osefo. You guys may not agree with me on this, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you anyway. Bring on Ivy as a friend. Test her out. Here's why I say that. Ivy, hilarious. Actually, she's a little bit more fun, seemingly, than Dr. Wendy Osefo. Even as a medical doctor, she doesn't seem so elitist as Wendy comes across. Okay? And listen, most people liked her sister. I did. I was like, more of Ivy, please. Okay? Ivy, for those who don't know, is Dr. Wendy's sister. Dr. Wendy's sister is a medical doctor. Okay? Personally, I liked Wendy better when she was interacting with her own family. Because the facade of the elitism, if that makes any sense, I feel like that dropped away and we got a little bit more of a real person who was a lot more relatable than she was in contrast with the rest of the ladies. That's just my thought. Okay? Somebody said bring Kendall. I thought about that too as I was driving to get my Starbucks earlier. I said, now what would Kendall do on this show? But then I said, no, you know what? Because I don't think that we would go, I wouldn't want to go backwards on that one. I kind of want to move forward. You know what I'm saying? The next thing that I would do, Karen's wedding to Ray needs to be the event of the season. Okay. And it doesn't need to happen at the end. It needs to happen somewhere in the middle. Okay. If Robyn were to get married on that show, it needs to happen episode 1 so that we can go ahead and get that story out the way. But that's if it happened. Okay. That's the test of it all. Is it really going to happen? Because even at the reunion, Andy had to sigh before he asked, oh, we've been talking about this for 5 seasons. Are y'all really getting married? Let's test it out. Y'all getting married or not? Because beyond that, that would be the only payoff of keeping her on this show until another season. Okay? So other than that, let's not waste that space. Clarissa says I'd cut Robyn off the show. I mean, I was trying to ease her out. You know what I'm saying? Trying to ease her out. Okay. The next thing that I would do, I would add 2 new women. 2 needs to be in the Potomac area. Let them live a little closer to the Bethesda line. Okay. For those of you guys who understand the geography of Maryland and DC, just to put it into context for you, Bethesda is closer to Potomac than, let's say, a Hanover or Baltimore, okay, which is roundabout where some of the ladies reside, okay? Now, let's bring in 2 new ladies who really come from a place of ownership, of true wealth, okay? That's got the coin, that's going to rival what we have seen before on Housewives that we actually really enjoy. We need some of that fabulosity back. We need that because that is why we watch Housewives. Okay? We don't want to see regular lives. We want to see Housewives. Okay? That is the escapism that this show is supposed to provide us behind the gates. I can't get that feeling if you live outside the gate. Okay? Because otherwise, you living next door to us, to me. Okay? I want to see somebody over there behind the gate. Now, let's get into Ashley. And I know that there has been, listen, unless Michael Darby does something else crazy himself, I don't need another Michael Darby scandal. Unless, again, as it seems to have been every other season, it was organic. I just don't want the season to rely on Michael Darby having done something crazy because I feel like it's been overdone. Okay? It's been overdone. Give this story a break, okay? Let's give us we just need a little vacation from it in 2021, okay? So Michael Darby, if we got to see a little less of you, okay, I'm cool with that. Because we need to see what Ashley does with the rest of these ladies without having it be something else that she got to talk her way through, okay, on this show. Because every time he goes through, he has an issue, she talk her way through it, okay? And what I mean by that is this. Did y'all notice when the cheating thing came up, Ashley diverted that story to talking about threesomes? Anybody notice that? Nobody know? Did anybody notice the switcheroo? Okay. It was almost as if the threesome conversation was supposed to divert our eyes from the fact that this man was literally on video in a casino and in a hotel room with somebody else. It's like, are we not supposed to talk about the elephant that's still in the room? Okay. So it was some type of Jedi mind trick that happened right there. And I don't know if anybody really caught on to it. I mean, that, you know, for me, and I guess, I don't know. I just don't want to see it next season. Okay. I don't want to see it. I want to see something else. Something else. Okay. The other thing that I need is I need to see more of this complicated relationship right here. I need to see Karen really go in and get the truth out of Gizelle about what is really happening in her life. And I feel like the only person that can get that truth out of her is going to be Karen. That's it. Thank you for the super chat, Kelly. I appreciate you. Because this was probably one of the best lines of the reunion right here, Tara. Is Jamal coming? And Karen and Gizelle cannot run from each other. Okay? Karen and Gizelle cannot run from each other. They both can pull each other's card. Okay? Now, the other thing that I'm going to say is this. Candiace and Wendy, y'all need to, if everybody's coming back like this, like I'm saying, so let's see, we would have Gizelle, we would have Karen, Ashley, Wendy, Candiace as our 5 main housewives, and then we have in at least one or two more people. Let's say we added in Mama Dorothy, right? And let's say we added in somebody new, okay? Because we ain't had this ever dynamic ever, right? We got 7 housewives. Candiace and Wendy, y'all need to watch each other's back, because just like every other season, there has been a target on someone's back. Y'all better watch each other's back like white on rice, because otherwise, from what we have seen in the past couple of seasons, the Green Eye Bandits are going to be coming after y'all next. Exactly. Clarissa says it all. She cannot be trusted. And what I believe is that now with Monique out of the way and with Karen firmly on offense, it is going to be Candiace and Wendy that need to be on the guard the most, along with Ashley. But Ashley seems oddly okay with Giselle coming after her for some reason, because Giselle comes after Ashley's marriage every season. But she seems oddly okay with it. I don't know why. It's just very odd. So I feel like Candiace and Wendy, be on guard. I know you think it's all fun and games until it happens to you. Now, it would be great and beautiful to see a whole turnaround with Giselle. I'm trying to be optimistic going into season 6, because I want to watch it and enjoy it. And I'm looking for ways to make each of these women a lot more likable by adding in things that I feel like would balance them out. It needs to be a season where Giselle and Robyn are separated, so that Giselle has to stand on her own and in her own truth, and allow the audience to get to understand who she really is, aside from dropping rumors and stuff like that. That's what needs to happen. You're right, Ashley. You know, the Quinn, Ashley can't hold her own. I don't have to listen. I like Ashley. I think that she is an enigma of a person. Has good and bad, and I think that's what we want to see ultimately. We want to see a balance. She can. And the other thing that I'm going to say is this, and I'm just going to be really, really honest with you guys. As much as I love Andy Cohen and what he does on Watch What Happens Live, and I think that they need to maybe test out for some of these reunions, pulling in someone else who can really understand the dynamics of what is happening in each city of the franchise. Because, and listen, I don't know who that should be. I thought about someone like a Bevy Smith, who I feel, and now, because I was racking my brain with thinking about who can call people to the carpet and still be well respected, but would have the time to dedicate to really understanding the nuances of the show without, because here's the thing. I don't mind that people say, listen, it's one thing for Andy to have favorites, but it's another thing to just sort of be out of touch with what's really happening on the show. And I felt like Andy was just very much out of touch with what was really going on Potomac, which seemed very odd to me. You're right, A. Williams. They should be off limits. Absolutely. And you know what I thought about Iyanla? I thought about Iyanla as someone who could do it. I just felt like it should be someone else. You know, I don't think that that's something that I would ever want to do. Because I honestly, to be quite honest with y'all, like I like doing this. I just like giving y'all my commentary. I like having the freedom to live my life. And I ain't got to go nowhere and I ain't got to do nothing. I ain't got to dress up or put on those suits. I've done all that stuff on news and stuff like that before. I am very good. Okay. I could be existing around here in my little army fatigue jacket and my jeans and just be very happy to watch and chat along with y'all. That's it. That's it. Thank you for the super chat. That's all I want to do. You know, that's where I'm at with life. Okay. Just give me my freedom to do what I want to do when I want to do it. I don't want to be famous. That's not any of what I want. I want my money. I want to be able to talk to y'all about these shows because it's fun. And otherwise, I want to be able to lay on my couch and invest my money, and that's it. But somebody else probably should do those reunions because I feel like this is what I feel like. I feel like Andy, by probably helping to executive produce all of these different shows, there are probably shows where he's maybe just a little bit more interested in what's going on, like Beverly Hills. We know he's interested in New York. You know, I feel like those are probably the ones where he's intimately ingrained, like it's intimately ingrained. Thank you for the super chat. It's intimately ingrained in him, like what is really going on those franchises. But with Potomac, I just felt like it was a pretty blatant display that he didn't know what was really going on. Okay. Because there's nothing wrong with making it equitable. Like you showed the footage of Chris and Monique reacting to a live, but you didn't show the live that they were reacting to. It's just make it fair. You can show both, and it would have done the audience a better service, so they could have at least seen that, oh, they were reacting to something. Okay, they were reacting to what was clearly described as a plot. That would have just been nice to see, because we know what happened. Exactly. Fatty Back Soup said Bevy. And I thought Bevy Smith too. And let me tell you, ooh, this would be good. Now, this is where I feel like Tammy Roman could also shine. Because she's a tell it like it is person. She knows she's experienced in what a reunion is, okay? And she'll put a person in their place, okay? And I said Bevy too, because Bevy, I feel like she commands a certain level of respect in the industry of like hosting, and just her presence alone, I feel like kind of commands respect. And so I thought she would be able to really get to the heart of the issues, because the reunion, here's what I say. The reunion is supposed to be a place where the issues are truly hashed out. And I'm gonna tell you guys something. I told you guys earlier in a video the other day to follow RJ Allen on Instagram, and I'm gonna tell you why why I want you guys to do that. It's RJ.Allen. Okay. Now he was formerly with he was one of the content creators for the Black Socialites. He did a live, and Chris Bassett jumped on the live, and they had let me tell you something. That conversation that they had was so deep. I could not make it all the way through it. I was literally in tears watching it, because they both came from a place of, I can't even tell you, but those difficult conversations. Oh, Monique, that would be good because she could get people straight too. RJ and Chris came to the table in such a raw and honest way, but the only way that that was able to happen was that the truth of the matter had to be talked about, right? Nothing was held back, nothing was hidden. They had a true conversation. Again, I was in tears because I couldn't even make it through it because it was so raw and it was so real. And all I kept thinking was, as I was watching it, like, how did we get here? And so that's what the reunion is supposed to be. And so you need somebody who is really understanding of the issues and not hesitant to call everybody to the carpet so that you can truly have a conversation. Everybody is truly held accountable and everybody can leave owning their part in the madness and in the mess. And RJ, I apologize for bringing that conversation up, but it really showed me and opened my eyes to what can happen when people really sit down and have a discussion. Okay. And that's what the reunion is supposed to be. And that's what we didn't get. And so for that reason, and sort of seeing some of the other reunions play out, I think it may be better for Andy to maybe take on a consultant or a producer role in the reunions because he obviously knows the franchises, but also because he's doing so many things. Watch What Happens Live. He's got the radio shows. He's got, he's watching the episodes of new seasons of the show. So you got Jersey obviously coming in. You got Dallas coming in, the dailies or whatever they may be, where the producers will send over, okay, this is what we've done so far with this episode. So I'm sure he's watching all of those things. And at a certain point in time, you just reach a capacity where I'm just here. Okay, I'm here. Can we get through this, please? Hey, y'all, did y'all see that Lakers? Did you see Michael Jordan's documentary? Wasn't that good? And Chris is like, I'm not trying to talk to you about no documentary. I'm here to talk about my child. Okay, so he wasn't even able to gauge the temperature in the room. You know what I mean? So I just feel like in that regard, he was out of touch. So I think maybe, just take a step back, keep those other duties, Watch What Happens Live, whatever it is, yada, 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 and then bring on some talent that can provide a fresh perspective so that when the reunion time comes, it ain't nobody hosting the show that's affiliated with the network, but they can still get down with the get down and hold everybody accountable around the room. And so that when the people do leave and when we watch the show, we feel like, oh, everybody got called to the carpet on tonight. Ooh, because that's what it's about. That's what it's all about. And so that's how you get to a point of resolve, or maybe you don't, but at least you go into the reunion now. I mean, you go into the next season with a clean slate. Ananda says Monique and Tammy Roman is the only two people I can see who will be fire hosts. What do y'all think about Nina Parker? Someone says Sherry Shepherd, Kevin Frazier. Don't laugh too much says Richie, you're way too hopeful for a case like Robyn. You're right. I mean, I am hopeful. I'm a big softie. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I was literally watching Chris Bassett and RJ earlier. I think was it yesterday morning. I was literally just crying like, oh my God, pull yourself together, Richie. Pull it together. I think Tammy is a good choice. Yeah. Taraji, what do we think? What do we think, y'all? CCF Freak says, is RJ interview still online? Yes, it is still on his page. Shannon says, I like Taraji. I see a yes, Taraji. Uh-huh. Oh, someone, K-Baby says Taraji's too safe. I like this too. Somebody said something. Somebody said something really, really good. Somebody, and I can't figure out who it was. If you said it, let me know so I can put it up on the screen. But someone says that it should be someone fresh. Okay, Ebony, thank you. Who said it should be someone fresh. And I wouldn't mind that either. As long as they were gonna come in and drop it like it's hot, like we need it, I'm good with it. But Bevy really just something about it, and I don't know what it was. It just was random to me. Bevy Smith. I was like, get Bevy online. And honestly, don't laugh too much. What do you guys think about this? Don't laugh too much says it has to be a woman. Please, no man to host over a cast of women. I guess I don't mind if a man hosts, but I kind of want to see a woman host the reunion. Ooh, somebody else said Jada Pinkett's mom. Thank you for the somebody, Nick gave a super chat and said Kiki Palmer. Yeah, I'm still seeing a lot of bevies. I got to tell you guys, I think it should be Bevy. And you know what? Honestly, guys, it could be a different host for different cities, right? Right? It could be a different host for different cities. Someone who is maybe familiar with the area. I have no idea. But what I do know is that I think that it has become evident that someone else should do it for the cities that maybe Andy is really a little bit too busy to really get down into the weeds to really understand the nuances that need to be discussed. It also needs to be somebody that's not affiliated with production, because what you don't want is someone to be asking just the questions that production wants to ask, because ultimately, you don't want it to be colored by what production may want us to see, because that takes away from the realness of the show. And this is not to come down on production. It's not. It's basically a suggestion that I feel like would make this a much better and fresher franchise moving forward to 2021. Okay? Judge Toller. I'm only going to say no on Tamron because I feel like God has a specific mission for her. Yeah. So I feel like God has a specific mission for her. I've seen, let me tell y'all some of the names I've seen. Funky Dineva, Lonnie Love, Tammy Roman, Kendall, Ayanla, Tina Knowles, Lonnie Love, Judge Toller, Monique, the comedian. Yeah, I'm seeing this too, Ashley. I'm seeing this in the long run for Tamron. Vivica Fox, I've seen. Claudia Jordan, I've seen as well. Ayanla, Bondi Blue. Bondi. I love me some Bondi. Shepard, Gary with the T. Listen, and we can have fun at this point. Gabrielle Union. Love B. Scott. Ooh, Ebony. If Ebony wasn't going to be on New York, I'm going to tell you guys, she would be amazing. Let me tell you. So Ebony K. Williams is the newest Real Housewife of New York, in addition to someone else that I'm not going to mention right now, but we'll hopefully be able to have a conversation with both of these ladies in the coming months. Now, if you don't know Ebony K. Williams, honestly, I need to point you guys to an interview that she did with Hollywood Unlocked. If I can find that interview when we get off the line, I'm gonna drop it in the comments in the description of this video. Jason Lee interviewed her along with the co-host from Hollywood Unlocked. And let me tell you, I am a fan of Ebony K. Williams. She is a straight shooter. She's direct. She's to the point. She's about being a Black woman without being, it doesn't come across as her being educated and elitist. I just feel like she just knows what she wants and she's not afraid to say what is on her mind. Oh my God. Yes, indeed. She is awesome. She is amazing. Okay. Yeah, Ebony would be amazing. Oh, Karamo was another name I saw out there. I saw T.S. Madison. Who else did I see? Someone said Angela Rye, Regina King. Yeah. Love her on State of the Culture with Remy. Someone said Jada Pinkett Smith, Jada Pinkett's mom. B. Scott, someone said. Oh, listen, it could go a variety of different ways for a couple of the different franchises. Why not have somebody, doing it in Atlanta and someone else doing it for Potomac and, maybe someone else doing it for Married to Medicine. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you got to have somebody that can be, Keitra says they already found somebody new for Potomac. I wonder who it is. Oh, someone said Carlos King. Steve Harvey. Who else do we have names up in here? Yeah, Kendall. It's highly unlikely that Andy will give up that spot. And I'm not saying that he's horrible. I'm simply saying that it felt like he was not interested in what was really going on the screen or behind the scenes, or in holding everybody accountable and then, really trying to get this group back together as a collective. So that's it. So who else said this? I'm sorry, y'all. The comments are going, and I wanted to pull up a comment. Yeah, Shelby, Ebony K. Williams has her own podcast, and it is good, guys. You gotta check her out. I want everybody to be. Yeah, I ain't seen her on the screen yet in terms of New York yet, but I want us all to really have her back because I just feel like she is a powerful voice, and I like her. I like her and Remy on State of the Culture. Yeah. All right, guys. So listen, that's really what I wanted to come to the table with today. Some really some suggestions about what we could do to improve Potomac for season 6. I was going to do a regular news video today, and I was actually very tired. So I said to myself, I'm going to just take a break today. But then I thought, I want to really get this out about how I feel about Potomac before we head into the new year, because I want all these shows to win. You know what I'm saying? And so these are my suggestions that Thank you, Glenda, for the super chat. It says Andy is going to look at all the backlash she received from Potomac and will reevaluate the situation. I hope so. I really, really hope so. Yeah, Keisha, I like the variety idea too, now that we've kind of come up with it together. But yeah, so that's that on that, y'all. I want to thank all of you guys for tuning in. You know, just that y'all rock with me. And even if you disagree with me, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because I would prefer to have a well-rounded, you know, like community for us than I would for everybody to agree with me. But I do like it when you agree as well. And I like your ideas. I like your ideas because I feel like our opinions count. And it's by listening to the audience that these shows become better, right? That's how they get better. So that's what we want, is for the network to get better. That's it. That's it. With that, guys, thank you. I appreciate you. That's the type of attitude that I love, Lashana. Still rock with you whether we agree or not. Thank you. Meredith, I'm gonna try to take a wellness day at some point this weekend and just kind of relax. But otherwise, y'all know how much I love y'all. I value you. I value you and your opinions. I value what you say. I value how you feel. So with that being said, guys, I love you and I will catch you guys in the next video.